Israel had an opportunity to save 3 hostages, young men, I believe in their mid-20s, who escaped and or were, somehow released by Hamas. It makes sense given that Gaza is being bombed relentlessly. So they were searching for help. They were without shirts, and when the IDF came upon them, they were killed. So this is what happened, according to Haaretz. 2 hostages, when they were shot, were hit and fell to the ground, while a third managed to escape into a nearby building. At the same time, the soldier reported to his commanding officer that he had encountered enemy militants. The Israeli hostage who was hiding inside the building came out and ran inside again. According to the soldiers, they believed that it was a Hamas terrorist attempting to lure them into a trap. They entered the building, where they shot the hostage dead. So just for some clarity, the 3 of them were shot on by a sniper, who, here's the thing about, look, I've never shot a sniper gun or a rifle or whatever, sniper gun, that's what they're called. But they've got a zoom feature, right? You can see what you're doing pretty close. And so this person got front row view to these 3 hostages who, by the way, had white flags in their hands they had created from whatever. Shot 2 of them dead, it seems. The third injured. He fled and was trying to hide. And then this was the part that I think we should all know, that was begging for help in Hebrew. Now, some people say, look, Palestinians speak Hebrew. At least they know how to say help. I don't know. Maybe. But maybe also you could just take a moment. Here is a person with a white flag. They seem unarmed. You're armed to the teeth. Maybe talk to them a little bit before you shoot them dead.
It's such a bad situation, because it's like, I mean, and you've seen people in Israel saying this too, and they're talking about the most effective way to get hostages back. Like, armed intervention has really only worked once. The rest of it has been negotiation. It's really hard to get hostages back in the context of a war zone, like, for reasons like this. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. If there was a ceasefire, then and it was a negotiated and lasting ceasefire, then they could safely rescue hostages. It would be much easier. But it's very clear that's not their orders, right? They are ordered to shoot, to kill, and pretty much anything that moves. There were protests in Israel about this incident. It reflects the risks posed to Israeli hostages by the IDF's ongoing attacks on Gaza, obviously. Yuri, whose cousin Itai Svirsky is being held hostage in Gaza, said the protesters' demand is to bring about a deal to stop the fighting. The state of Israel and its leadership behave as if they've given up on the captives. We get them back as bodies. They're killed by the bombings from failed rescue operations and from our own forces' fire when they do manage to escape. I mean, I wish, Suba, this were a moment of a catalytic moment. Catalytic moment. I wish it would actually change the minds of Israelis. I don't know if it's going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But all of the rubes, for lack of a better term, who are like, bring the hostages home. They're kidnapped. They're missing. It's like, no, this is what your own government, who has the power to see them safely return, who has negotiated for their return. This is how they are treating hostages. And let's clarify, if this were Palestinians who were waving a white flag, this would also not be okay.
Yeah.
But it is just so clear. But we can't talk about this because, we'll lose our jobs. We can't point out the obvious.
Yeah. It's just, my heart breaks for those families when you hear them talk about, like, their loved ones and the ones that are, and I just hope, it's just a bummer. Like, you really can't trust, like, a right-wing government to, like, no matter, like, which government it is, to be having, like, the best interests of its civilians at heart when it is so extremist and so, like, they're chasing a political ideal as opposed to chasing after the safety of their own people, and it's really sad. And I
100%.
I hope those families are reunited. But yeah, it's tragic.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.